Hey, Lindsay, how are you?
I'm doing really great, Michelle. How are you today?
I'm doing well. Lindsay, have you seen any old movies in the past few months?
You know what? It's kind of embarrassing, but I'm staying at my in-laws condo and the TV's kind of weird, like what we have access to. And I discovered a channel where they show like on repeat old 90210 episodes that I haven't seen in so long. So I actually sit and watch them for like an hour sometimes. So I'll be like, well, I remember this episode, or I remember
That's so
what I
funny.
thought about this episode when I was 17 and I
Yeah.
watched it. So yeah, kind of reliving the past a little bit.
It is kind of fun. Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm always thinking of like now new movies to watch with my son.
Yeah,
And
sure.
like family friendly, like old, like nostalgic kind of movies. Like we watched Back to the Future. We showed him
yeah.
all of the Back to the Future movies.
Speaking of Back to the Future, we should have an episode that brings in vocabulary from Back to the Future because it is still quoted, Michelle.
That's
now.
true. That is
Yeah.
true. Yeah. We should do Back to the Future.
Yeah, guys, hit the follow button, by the way, because that is another reason just to follow Allers English so you don't miss these awesome episode ideas that are coming up here that you will see soon, right?
Yeah,
Love it.
definitely. But yeah, today we're going to talk about a great connection skill. And it's saying that there's been a long time since since you last did something, right? So you
Yep.
mentioned, oh, I haven't seen these 90210 episodes in forever, right?
Yeah.
And this is it's a kind of a fun connection skill.
Yep, I haven't seen. So we're going to talk a little bit about the grammar here today. This does involve some present perfect grammar or expressions, right? There are different ways to get at this point, but it does show, wow, this is clearly a connection skill, Michelle.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yes, exactly. So yeah, for a great way to do this is I haven't blank in so long, right? So I mean, with Back to the Future, it was like, I mean, I know that I had seen the movies, of course, but it was so long. I can't, like, they're not ones that I watched over and over again or anything like that. So it was kind of like watching them for the first time. But I might say to him, oh, I haven't seen this in so long.
Yes. Or I haven't thought about this movie in so long,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. Yeah. So what does this present perfect construction do here? Like, how does what is it showing?
It shows nostalgia, I think. It's
Yeah.
usually connected to something because even with the 90210 example,
Yeah.
I go back in my head to being 17 or 16 and watching
Yeah.
that show and thinking of what I thought about I realized that show is actually very like they tackle some very serious topics like abortion and suicide, all these really intense
See,
topics.
I never watched it.
Okay, you never watched it. And when I watched it the first time, it didn't strike me that I don't know, they tackled such heavy topics.
Right.
Maybe TV's just gotten a lot lighter since then. I'm not really sure, but so you can compare who you were then and what you noticed then versus what you notice now.
Right.
There's a lot this can open up.
Right. And yeah, watching something through a kid's eyes and then seeing it through an
Yes.
adult's eyes. I mean, for that's, we've talked, I mean, everyone who listens to this show would probably know that my favorite movie is Father or the Bride. And I watched that movie, I watched that movie 100 times growing up from the view of just, I'm a little girl. And then I watched it right before I got married. And when I was engaged and it made me cry because I thought more of that.
You're probably gonna watch it when your daughter gets married too, right?
Oh God, but yes, but I cried and because then seeing the parents' emotions and then I watched it again as a parent thinking about what you said, my kids getting married, and so you see something through the different eyes and but yes, as you can see, I've seen it many times.
Oh, that movie just really tugs on the heartstrings. I remember when I watched that for the first time. I don't know, maybe I was like 12 or 13 and my dad was in the room and it was like a sentimental scene and my dad went in the bathroom and didn't come out for a long time and he came out with his eyes all watery. And I was like, Dad, I'm only 13. I'm not getting married anytime soon.
Oh my God, that's so touching. But I get it. I mean, what about the second one too? Do you watch
The second one? Yeah, I liked it, but I think just like many movies, the first one is The Chef's Kiss, right?
Yeah.
The first one is always just the one that hits the hardest. For me,
but I will argue that that movie is that the second one, I think it's almost as good as the first one. That's just
Diane Keaton.
Yeah,
amazing. Yeah, she passed away just recently, didn't she?
Yes, that broke my heart.
Oh, me too. Yeah, Diane Keaton and Steve
that was
Martin,
a hard one.
Great match. Oh,
yeah.
So good.
Anyway. If ever we start talking about Father of the Bride, I can just go on and on. So anyway, but yeah, with a movie, I might say I haven't seen that in so long. So let's give other examples, not necessarily with movies, but you could also just talking about seeing someone. Oh, I haven't seen her in so long.
Or I haven't read a nonfiction book in so long.
Yeah. Or I haven't been to that mall in so long. Like, Lindsay, do you remember, when you were a kid walking around, was it a big deal to be dropped off at the mall? And
it was. We didn't have a mall in my town, which I always was like, oh, why don't we have a mall in my town? So it wasn't that kind of thing. Like I could just get dropped off, but I used to take trips with my mom to the mall. We'd go shopping. So it was a different kind of mall experience I would have.
How far was
like 2 hours. Like we didn't have a proper mall. We had.
Are you serious?
Yeah, we didn't have. Keene, New Hampshire is kind of a small town, not a tiny town, but it's like a small city, kind of isolated. So we didn't have a traditional. We had like the Colony Mill. We had little mills, but like proper malls that are like sprawling and huge. Your typical teenage American experience. We didn't have those malls.
Wow. Yeah. That's so interesting.
Okay,
yeah. No, the mall. You live to tell the tale. Yeah. But so, Lindsay, what haven't you done in so long?
Oh, that's hard to say. Oh my gosh. I don't know. What about you, Michelle? I'm trying to come up with something.
I haven't done an exercise class at a gym in so long. I've done exercise at home. I did do a gym. Like I did a trial and then they keep on texting me and it's too much money. But like, I haven't done, it's been so long.
Yeah. I mean, it's been so long since I've taken a Zumba class, which I really enjoy. That's something I used to do in Boston. And it's been so long since I've done that. But
Zumba's fun.
Any kind of dance exercise is really cool because you sort of forget you're working out, right?
That's my favorite, actually.
Yeah. For sure.
Hey, quick question. Do you want to feel more confident when you speak English? If so, we made a free guide for you. It'll help you avoid those common mistakes and start speaking more naturally in real conversations. Go grab it in the description below. And if this is helpful for you, make sure that you like and subscribe. We're here 5 times a week to help you connect in English.
So you can communicate this we recommend that you guys go after this because this is present perfect grammar. You're ready for it at your level. If you can understand the show, you can use the present perfect for sure. And then there are other ways you can do it to still tie in the grammar a little bit, but with different words. What are they, Michelle?
Yeah. Well, saying in forever or just it's been forever. So here's a present perfect. I haven't talked to you in forever, right?
Yes. Or good to see you. It's been forever. It's been forever. So it has been forever. Really interesting.
Exactly. Yeah.
So native and natural, right?
Yep. Yeah. Exactly. Or just in a period of time, in years and months and decades. I haven't read that book in decades.
Yes. Right. And what else could we say, Michelle?
Yeah,
since.
I mean, like you could say since, right? Add on since. So I haven't seen that movie since I was a kid.
Since I was a kid, yep. Or you could say it's been ages, right? It's been ages, and you could tack on, it's been ages since we got ice cream together, right?
Yeah, right, right. So it's been ages, right? So what does that mean, ages? Actually,
ages is just, again, forever, a long time, maybe decades, maybe weeks. Who knows? It depends on, it could stand for many different periods of time.
Right. Exactly.
Right?
Exactly. Yeah. So ages, but yeah, so it's been ages. How have you been? So, a very good one there. But yeah, again, all of these are just, we're talking a lot about the present perfect, which is really useful. And just this commentary again about nostalgia or, just like how your life is now. I haven't seen you in so long. I haven't done this in so long. Right.
Yes.
So it can really connect you because it can, number one, either show nostalgia but then also kind of show where your life is right now. Like, oh, I haven't been to a real gym class in so long, you know, but it says, okay, my lifestyle is currently that. It's better for me to exercise at home and have the kid, you know what I mean? So it opens up a lot.
Oh my God, it's so much. And I think we take in the senses in every way. Like even, you know, if I were to walk into an old coffee shop in Keene, New Hampshire, where I used to go as like an 18-year-old, like it would just bring back so much. I haven't been there in ages, but if I went back there, the smell of that coffee shop would remind me of my upbringing, of my life, of wanting to leave that small town and move to Tokyo, getting ready to move. It just brings up so much that we could share in a connection moment. Right?
Is there a specific coffee shop that you're talking about? What's the name?
It's called Hyperion Coffee. I don't know if you know Keene, New Hampshire, but
I don't. No, I was just curious. That's a cool name. But yeah, I know there are so many things like, when my parents moved from their, you know, from my childhood home, and then you don't go back, and then have you ever gone back? I mean, when I even have gone back, like, you know, to like an old school, like where you have smaller desks or smaller seats, and you're like, whoa, these are so
middle
small.
School. Imagine if you were to walk down the halls of your middle school right now, the lockers. I mean, it's just like, it just reminds you how time has passed and how you've changed, right?
Exactly.
So we need words to articulate all of this for sure.
Yeah, huge connection skill. So should we do a role play?
Yeah, let's do it. So we are old friends meeting for coffee. And this is where this would really come up. Like, you know, when I meet with my friend Emma, who we're really close friends in middle school and we're still close. And
is that the one you Zoom with?
No, it's someone else. It's someone else. But sometimes a name will come up and I'll be like, I haven't thought about that person in forever. I haven't even thought about that person. I forgot that person existed, you know, just like an acquaintance or something.
Scary how that happens, right?
Yeah,
like
it's weird.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
Hey, so good to see you. It's been ages.
I know. I haven't seen you since 10th grade.
Wow. Remember when we watched that movie on the night of the dance?
Yes, I haven't seen that movie in so long.
Same here. Nice. Yes. Yeah. So there you go. And this will come up when you meet people that have been in your life a long time ago. Right.
Yeah.
So you said, I know, I haven't seen you since 10th grade.
Yeah.
Wow.
Right. Well, first you said it's been ages, and then and then you started bringing up like just going right into the memories, right? Mm-hmm. Remember when we watched that movie on the night of the dance? Some special memory there, and I said yes, I haven't seen that movie in so long.
Yeah. It's an important skill to be able to reflect on the past and how long it's been since you've done certain things, especially with certain people, right?
Yeah. Yep. Yeah. Exactly. Yep. Yeah. Well, I'm feeling very nostalgic, and
I know you're a nostalgic person. I know, you're a very nostalgic person.
I can't. Yeah. So guys, check out episode 2578. That was "Don't Fall into These Conversation Traps."
Yes. And that's it. I mean, I think our listeners can see how this is a connection skill, clearly. So start filling in the blanks. Everyone has a past. Everyone has memories. Everyone has, like, you know, you can always, hopefully there's someone that you can potentially reconnect with, or even just if it's been a year or something, this would apply too, right? So if I have a friend here in Denver that I just wasn't able to get together with for the past year or so, these phrases would still apply. It could be ages, could be a year, right? It doesn't have to be your 10th grade best friend, right? Yeah. So it's not about the amount of time. It's about how long does it feel for you if you're using this grammar. Okay.
Yep. Mm-hmm. Well said, Lindsay. All right. Very good. Glad we talked about this today. And I will see you not in ages. I will see you very soon.
In the next episode.
Yes.
In a couple of minutes, Michelle. All right.
Bye,
we'll talk to you soon. Bye.